It was a nice little situation. Nice little situation. Family, everybody came out. She had a good time. You know what I'm saying? We partied. Food was good. We had a good time.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Man, I don't think I've watched that much soccer ever over the weekend. My father-in-law is a big soccer fan, so
Hmm.
he had to join on the TV. I was just watching the stuff with him, just asking him questions and stuff like that. But yeah, it's the most I've ever watched in a while. So um,
My house was filled with kids
mm,
from Tuesday to Sunday. You hear me?
mm-hmm. I
Filled
heard
with
I heard a little
kids.
bit. I thought I heard a little bit in the background there, but yeah, yeah, you got it going on over there, living it up. Um, Coming up, man. So probably about 25 minutes. We got a special guest coming on. You and I know him pretty well. We kind of go back a few years with the whole X Squad affiliates and X Squad Radio. Kysii Ingram, host of the Kickin' It with Kysii show, that you can also find on X Squad Radio. Coming on with us in about 25 minutes. Big Falcons fan. So I know the Steelers got a game with the Falcons coming up this
Yeah.
weekend, and so we'll have a little smack talk with that, have some fun with that, and then he's all Atlanta sports too, so we'll probably talk about Trey Young and the Hawks and what they got going on down there. So, um, biggest takeaway this weekend from all the football games.
The biggest takeaway, man. I'm gonna do the unconventional. I'm gonna do the unconventional thing and throw it right back to you because I'm
Mm.
on vacation and I ain't ready.
What?
I'm on vacation and I ain't ready.
And you're not ready, even after.
I've been chilling. If you're asking me to take something, if you're asking me to take something from it,
Uh huh.
Pittsburgh won a game.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, you ain't even gonna say that
But that's not the biggest. But that's clearly
y'all won
not
a
the.
game last
That's
night.
clearly that is like the most insignificant game of games
Mm.
to be played. Like that's definitely not a high game on the. Like I get we'll talk about it because it's my team,
It's a
but
dog game,
that's
yeah.
not a.
It's a dog
That's
game.
not. Yeah, it was a insignificant game. If I'm being 100% honest with you, between traveling and by the time I got there and ate something, I watched about the first half, about fell asleep by the third,
Mm.
woke up for the fourth, and then fell asleep by the end. Definitely did not see the bad time management that happened
Mm-hmm.
on the Colts last drive. Like
Yeah.
I'm not the person to call on for Steelers advice this week. I just ain't.
Well, except you're happy you got a win. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you're happy about that. Well, I guess since you're throwing it back to me, pause. Look, I'm gonna talk Lamar Jackson for a minute, man. And and the Ravens, yeah, and they gave another game away, on Sunday. And I gotta be honest, bruh, I was on the road coming back from New York in lots of rain, being stuck in a vehicle for almost 5.5 hours. Just happened to listen to, so they got on Sirius XM, they have a red zone version of I guess a radio version of Red Zone on Sirius XM.
Mm-hmm.
So I was listening to that for the most part because obviously I couldn't get the game local because we were coming from New York. And I'm be honest, man. I'm glad that I was on the road because if I had to sit and watch that game from beginning to end, man, I go crazy, bruh.
Yeah.
I go real crazy. But um, less about the game, more about Lamar, and not to say that it's Lamar's fault that we lost the game. That was clearly on the defense. Um, this tweet that he put out there shortly after the game, where guy tweets at him and says that, oh, you can't give this guy $250 million guaranteed if you're going to end games like that, and also talking about you can't keep games like this in the hands of Justin Tucker and all this stuff. And Lamar tweeted back at him and basically told the guy to eat a dick, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately after that, man, the next morning people start talking about, oh, he tweeted a gay slur and and all this stuff, and I'm looking at the tweet and I'm like, there's absolutely nothing about this tweet that references a gay slur, nothing about it at all. So I don't get, well, I do get why they're doing this, and that reporter that he also called out on Twitter, basically told him, yo, like, you defaming my character or whatever, like, don't do that and all that. So
That's what the
um
reporter said.
the reporter was saying, and I don't have the exact quote, but
Okay.
Lamar called out one of the it was an ESPN reporter that covers the team, used to work in town but covers the team for ESPN, and said that this is who Lamar is, or something to that, something of that nature. And Lamar fired back and said, "Yo, like,
Oh,
that's not
okay.
cool. Like, don't
Gotcha.
don't assassinate my character like that. Because that's not who I am, whatever." And if you want to call it uncharacteristic of Lamar to fire back like that, okay, that's cool. No problem there. I mean, he's never really fired back at a fan or anybody on Twitter like that before. But don't confuse the word, like, us in the black community know what the term "eat a dick" is. Like, that's not in relation to anything homophobic, a gay slur, or anything like that. There's no relation to that whatsoever. Um, you know, so that's kind of where I'm gonna leave it at, man.
Um, I look. Why is eat a why is eat a dick or suck my dick such an offensive term historically?
Historically, it's an offensive term. Um,
Because you inviting another man to your private part,
yeah.
and then I mean, so I guess my pushback would be
Mm-hmm.
is it does have homophobic undertones to it. I don't think we look at it that way, but it does have the undertones. I'll say this.
It's not a slur, though.
No, look. Well, let's be clear. I don't have an issue with what Lamar Jackson did.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, if I had a criticism of him, it was like, like you've been doing all your career, just ignore Twitter. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you
Yeah.
shouldn't
Right.
respond that way. What we're not going. I guess the what I'm coming to in that conversation as far as Lamar Jackson is,
Mm-hmm.
this is terrible timing for
Well,
him to have
I
these
agree
types.
with that. I
It's
agree
terrible
with that.
timing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, the tweet, the timing of it, coming after an immediate loss. We know what it is with the contract. It's getting toward the end of the season. So timing is bad. I agree with you there for that to even be a story. I agree
Even
with
to
you
add
there.
to it, and let me add to it,
Yeah.
why you even John Harbaugh coming out and saying this is uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah.
No, he talks like that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tweeted it. So, like, he doesn't talk like that, and that's not language that we're familiar with. Nah, yes, it is. Yes, it is. He just shouldn't have done
Just
it
not on
in that
Twitter.
fashion.
Yeah, just not on
Yeah, he
Twitter.
just shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, like, look, at the end of the day, that tweet affected him, and maybe not just that one specific tweet,
Mm-hmm.
but the barrage of tweets that come every time he's had a bad week this year, and he's had some bad weeks this year.
Yep.
On contract year, and all of these talks about how much he should be paid and should he get a contract, and why hasn't Baltimore taken care of him yet? All
Yep.
these things I think culminate, and where that one person got the stray.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, look, man, at the end of the day, he shouldn't have did it. Whether it was eat my dick or kiss my ass or whatever it was, he shouldn't have replied. And you know, because these things come with it.
Yeah.
Because these things come with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's absolved because we don't look at it like as a homophobic statement. But at the end of the day, he said what he said, and I mean, that's what he did, and it was it was a mistake. I think the realest thing John Harbaugh said is, don't go to Twitter after a loss. Process your loss.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go and see what's going on, then do that. But I can't imagine how Lamar Jackson, after he's had at least two more of these where he lost the game.
Yeah.
Why he would even go to Twitter that week?
Well, I'm with you, and the timing is off. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have went to Twitter. Period. I'm not trying to absolve him from the smoke that's coming to him just for tweeting in the time frame that he did. My whole point is, don't turn this into Lamar is homophobic. Don't turn it into that, because that's not what the topic should be about. That's not.
I agree there.
What the headline should be about.
But when you put yourself in a predicament to be criticized for your comments, this is what comes with it.
Yeah, right or wrong,
right or wrong. When you put yourself in that predicament, you give people ammunition to draw whatever silly conclusions that they want to draw.
Yeah.
And just quite frankly, he shouldn't have responded. Otherwise, nobody would have had anything to say besides he played a bad game, or however you interpret he played the game.
Right. Which I don't think he played a bad game.
Right.
He played an okay game.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think he played a bad game either, from what I gathered. But here's the thing. You can't lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars if you're Lamar Jackson.
Bad loss.
Yeah, you can't lose to him. And it seems he's losing to. Well, no, I can't even say that, because he lost to the.
No, we lost to some of the best early on.
Yeah, right. So I can't even really say that.
We lost to some of the best teams.
But this is a bad loss. No matter how you slice it, this is a bad loss, especially considering that y'all are trying to establish yourselves as up there with Kansas City and up there with Buffalo.
Well, it's a bad loss for the team as a whole.
But when you're Lamar Jackson, it not only are you Lamar Jackson, but you're the quarterback.
Yep.
Quarterback. Like all these things, they
get the credit.
Bad loss. But it's a different bad loss for Lamar Jackson than it is for Justin Tucker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Tucker,
you know what I'm saying?
Tucker gets no blame in this. And like I said, Lamar, just listening to the game and watching the highlights, this was a defensive lapse in the fourth quarter. You want to point to Gus Edwards fumbling on our end of the field and giving the Jaguars 13 yards to score a touchdown. Yeah, we can point to Gus Edwards in the fumble. That was a turnover. I wouldn't put that necessarily on the defense. But right after that fumble, Lamar goes down the field, scores a touchdown, goes up by 7 points, and it's 2 minutes left, and the game is in the hands of the defense, and Trevor Lawrence just picked us apart. Marcus Peters, something's up with that dude, bro. I don't know if he's just not 100% coming off the injury, but the dude is just not like giving it his all at this point, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not on the team next year. Given his contract situation. But yeah, that was a bad finish, and we still kind of had a chance. I mean, Tucker is human. I mean, he can kick 60-something yard field goals, but at the end of the day, the dude is human. He gonna miss one, every now and then. So yeah, bad loss. And when you mention those other teams, you're mentioning the Kansas Cities, you mentioned the Buffaloes. Those teams have a couple bad losses on their resume for this year, at least.
Sure.
If you go back to the Colts game against the Chiefs, that was one where you was like, Like, where the hell that come from? You know what I
I mean,
mean?
hell, Buffalo. I mean, I know they just beat Detroit, but they just lost to the Jets, and I get the Vikings are a good team, but that was a bad loss. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm with
The
you
way that
that
it ended, yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. That I agree with.
That's one of those litmus test losses. Like if
Mm.
you're the cream of the crop, you know what I'm saying? You kind of got to pull that game out, even if it was something as simple as that fumble, on the goal line.
Yeah, yeah,
You kind of got to find a way to put it out. Josh Allen hasn't been his best in the past 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks. So I
mm-hmm.
mean, I get it, but I think even going into the season, it was established that Buffalo was one of them teams, and they've kept stride. Whereas Baltimore didn't necessarily come into the season being established as one of those teams. They were trying to prove, through play in the year that they were one of them teams. And
Yeah,
to be frank, they have been a letdown in regards as them being one of those teams.
yeah. And the way that these losses have turned out to be losses, like
Yeah,
we could be undefeated, but we gave some of those games away early
yeah,
in the season, and I mean, you could look at a team like Miami, and even though we didn't really pencil in Miami as one of those teams with Kansas City or with Buffalo, you kind of look at some of their losses. Granted, it was without Tua, but that Jet loss, um, okay, division game, but still, you know, I think
I mean, but
people penciled Miami to be better than the Jets coming into the
sure.
year. So if anyone wants to pencil that as a bad loss, I'm not gonna argue that.
Well, I think it's a bad loss, but it's not the same kind of a bad loss as well. Going into the season, you thought that Baltimore would be a better team than Miami, right? That's
Yep,
safe to say,
yep,
right?
yep.
I mean, and as of right now, it's safe to say Miami's a better team than Baltimore.
Right now, yeah, I would say yeah. Right now,
Yeah. So it's that thing. Like Miami has, even with that bad loss to New York, Miami has established that they're like if Miami and Buffalo, I mean, I'm sorry, if Kansas City and Buffalo is one, that Miami's 1A, and maybe Baltimore is right up there, right up under Miami, maybe in the
mm,
AFC.
probably. I guess the one thing Baltimore does have over Miami is playoff experience. I think that's the only thing you could put over them right now. But other,
But in the scheme of this season, Miami's a better football team than Baltimore.
yeah, right
Yeah,
now they've shown that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I mean, in some regards, Miami's taking a step up and Baltimore is taking a step down.
yeah. The Dolphins are going to be tested the next 3 weeks.
Sure, sure. I'm
They
just talking about as where it stands right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Where it
no,
stands right
we
now.
agree. We agree.
Yeah.
We agree with that. I guess I'm just kind of segueing into the Dolphins' schedule for a minute because they've had this good season so far and they've proven to be one of those teams. I think we're going to find out more about them when they got to go on the road for the next 3 weeks
Mm-hmm.
against tough opponents.
Right.
The 49ers, you and I, we talked about them being a team that's going to start to take off, down the stretch here. The Chargers, still a tough opponent, but I don't
If
know.
Miami is who they think they are, they should beat the Chargers.
Yeah, I don't know,
If
man. I see
if
that game
Miami
going
is
either
who they
way. I see that
huh?
game. I see that game going either way, man.
But again, if Miami is who they think they are,
Mm-hmm,
they should win. I agree that it could go either way. But
mm-hmm.
if Miami is in that locker room, they are who they think they are, meaning they're let's say the third best team in the league in the
Yeah.
AFC. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go in thinking they should beat the Chargers.
Right. Where do we got the Chargers at in the AFC right now? Like
Uh, Man, you just kind of. Are you talking about schedule? But are you talking schedule wise, or just how they look in terms of?
Just how they've looked up to this point.
Okay, so Kansas City 1. Let's say Buffalo 2. Let's say Miami 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Baltimore 4. I would take Cincinnati 5 right now.
Yeah, I agree. I was just gonna say.
Um, let's say
So are you
Chargers
so are you
6.
putting so you putting the Titans? You putting the Titans below the Chargers? I would put the Titans below the Chargers right now. Even
You
though
saying the Titans are better? I would say the Titans. You saying the Titans are better than the Chargers?
no, I'm saying I would put the Titans below the Chargers. I
Really?
I think right now, even though they have a
Okay.
better record than them,
Right.
I just think Justin Herbert, and he showed it again on Sunday. Dude is clutch, bruh. I mean, and I know the coach is, questionable at best, but when they needed a touchdown and when they needed a 2-point conversion, he
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
He got it. You know what I mean? I don't care if it was the
Okay. I can ride with
Cardinals.
that. I can ride with Chargers better than Titans. So 6.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What about 6?
Okay. All right. Cause they kind of weird. Like I feel like they shouldn't be 6-5. I feel like they should be just have a better record than that.
The Chargers, you mean?
The Chargers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but they've had injuries too, so I mean, I kind of think they where they need to be at. Keenan Allen's been injured for some time.
Yeah,
Mike Williams
that's true.
been injured for some time.
That's
Justin
true.
Herbert was injured early. Like I look like he's playing better now, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say they where they need to be at or where they should be at.
Okay. Yeah. They had one of them losses. I mean, they lost to Jacksonville, I think, earlier. They got
Yeah,
stomped. They got
and that's
stomped by Jacksonville. Matter of fact.
but and when Herbert wasn't all the way right.
No, he was right.
You sure?
I thought he was. No, you're right.
Wasn't
You're
that
right. He did
with
get
the
hurt. You're right.
ribs?
You're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the ribs, and then they said he was gonna play anyway, and then they got stomped.
yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. But okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, but about 6. But about 6. Yeah. But getting back, my that should be a game that Miami wins if they are who they say they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if they do lose that game, I'm not gonna think any differently about Miami moving forward.
Uh, uh, well, the reason why I might, and I'm saying might,
Mm-hmm.
is because this is the stretch where you kind of got to show and prove. And I get it's a tough stretch, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like the stretch where you got to show and prove
Mhm.
because people kind of faking on you. Like some people on board, some people not on board. Like
Yeah.
you beat
Right.
Buffalo, but then again, but then Tua's playing, so and they're undefeated with Tua. So
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel if they lose to San Diego.
Yeah.
I know if they lose to San Fran,
Yeah.
I might kind of throw that at. I might kind of say, well, it depends on how bad they lose. If they lose,
Right.
I might
And
kind of
how?
say
And
like,
how? Yeah.
yeah. I'll kind of say, all right, well,
Mm-hmm.
San Fran. I know San Fran was. I've been saying it for weeks. San Fran coming. So like, all right, I might be all right with them losing to San Fran. I don't know if I'm gonna be okay with them losing to San Fran and the Chargers in consecutive weeks. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that.
And then they go to Buffalo after that.
Right.
That'll be the
Right.
third road
Right.
game, and everybody's kind of thinking, hey, let's see what the Dolphins do in cold weather
Right.
when they got to go to
Right.
Buffalo. So,
Right.
they got to, I mean, to me, I think if they come out of there 1-2, I don't think I'm going to feel any differently about them. Because, like you said, with San Fran, that's a team that's coming. With Buffalo, you know what that is. That's for the division. I mean, basically, that's for the division right there.
But then again, if Miami made a lot of acquisitions, man. They did a lot in this offseason to deal with the likes of a Buffalo and the likes of a Kansas City.
And a trade too, and an in-season trade, right?
Yeah, right. For Chubb. So I mean,
yeah.
If look, Miami's going to be there in deep in the playoffs, I think, regardless if they go 1-2 or 0 or 0-3.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Buffalo in December, that's important. Buffalo in December is important.
Yeah. Again,
that's not a game you lose if you think if you think you did the right things to battle with Buffalo in the offseason.
Yeah, cold weather or not.
Yeah.
Cold weather or not. I mean, in the playoffs, they're going to have to go play in the
Yeah,
cold at some point,
I'm
right?
not. I'm not. I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare absolve a team in the playoffs for the sake of weather. If you can't play in the cold weather, then you didn't need to be. Then you don't need to be in the playoffs. Period.
I don't want to. I don't want to say that.
If you can't, you going to cold teams. Like there's a high probability that you're going to teams that play in cold weather.
Right, right.
It's
But
cold outside.
yeah, no, I get
And
that, but I don't. I don't buy the philosophy that they shouldn't be in the playoffs. I mean, it's January. I mean, the only place
if
that's
you're not
warm
equipped to
is.
play when it's cold outside,
I think they're going to be equipped. I think they're going to be equipped. That don't mean they're going to win, but I think they're going to be equipped. They who they get.
well, I'm not saying if they lose, they're not equipped to be in the playoffs. I'm saying if they're not equipped to play in the cold, then they don't need to be in the playoffs.
That's what I'm talking about. I think they're going to be equipped to play in the cold. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to get the run game going a little bit. They didn't get what's his name for nothing. Jeff Wilson Jr. in the trade, in addition to Chubb. I think they're gonna get that run game going. They're gonna. I mean, they're gonna have to.
They're gonna have to.
They're gonna have to. You know, and Buffalo ain't the only cold place. If they got to go to Kansas City, if they got to come to Baltimore, they gotta play away from South Beach. So you know, it is what it is, man. I think something else I took from and Kysii will come on in a minute here, but I guess the only other thing that I took from this weekend is just kind of moving forward. I'm thinking about the upcoming two matchups between the Giants and the Commanders. I'm calling them Commanders because they got another win. I'm thinking about those two matchups coming up with the first one this weekend. I think whoever gets swept out of those two games is missing the playoffs altogether.
Well, why do you assume a sweep?
Why do I assume a sweep? I'm saying whoever does. I'm not predicting a sweep. I'm saying.
What if it's a split?
If it's a split, then both teams still got a shot.
Okay.
But I think whoever gets swept, if it does happen, I think that team misses the playoffs. Given what we know about Dallas, we know to me, Dallas is a lock. Whether they win the East or whether they're the first wild card, I think Dallas is a lock.
I'm with you there.
Seattle,
might be out.
Bad loss to the Raiders. So and that's coming off of a bye week and coming off of losing to the Buccaneers, who haven't been playing well. As of late. So you kind of look at Seattle because we kind of went through it. You know, Carolina, the Rams, the Raiders, we said, hey, they should, if they are who they say they are, you know, with Geno Smith playing the way he was, they should go 3-0 in this stretch. And they've already lost this one to the Raiders. So now kind of don't know what to think with Seattle right now because now you're starting to see maybe a little bit of slippage there. And then you got San Fran coming up after that. So so it just depends on what's going on with the Seahawks. But yeah, those two games, those two division games between those two teams, I think the Commanders, the stock is rising with the Commanders, and the stock with the Giants is going down right now.
Yeah, so. I agree 100%. I was just thinking that because I was watching. I'm looking at the Giants. And they just lost to Dallas over Thanksgiving, obviously, but they're losing players. You know, they losing to injuries. The Brian Robinson had a game against the Texans. Apparently, I mean, say what you want about Heineke and his actual, efficiency and all that, but he seems to be running the offense well,
managing the game. Managing the game.
And the defense, they're just not playing terrible.
And they're getting Chase Young back at some point, right?
Yeah. I thought he was back, but I see he wasn't. But I thought he was back.
Yeah, no, he didn't come back yet. You should be maybe next week or the week after, but
so I mean, that defense, that front. Here we go, that front four again.
Yeah, you're looking at, can Saquon do his thing against that front. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. I
yeah.
don't.
And if he can't do it against that four, and it's on that receiving core and Daniel Jones,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a tough. Yeah, that's a tough spot.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's welcome the guest in here real quick. I see he's got his Falcons hat on.
Yes, sir.
No doubt, no doubt. The homie Kysii Ingram. What's good, man? What's good? The Kicking It with Kysii show. X Squad affiliate. X
Yes,
Squad
sir.
Radio.
What's good, man? Can y'all hear me? I'm good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
good.
hear you.
You good.
All
You
right,
good,
awesome,
man.
awesome.
You good, man. We was actually just rapping about the commanders here. I call them Commodores sometimes when they don't do good, but since they're doing good, I call them the Commanders. And you guys just had a game against them on Sunday. That was a brutal ending to that, man.
Very brutal. We're so Falcons. I'll say, of course, we're in the rebuilding stage, but we definitely shoot ourselves in the foot with the decisions. I mean, we're running the ball so well, keep running the ball. You know, you saw each of the running backs getting at least 5 yards of carry. You know what I mean? Averaging. It's like shit. At least I would have tried at least 3 of the downs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then,
Jeez.
I mean, it's like those Super Bowl things, Seattle and us. You know what I mean? Like run the ball, but
Yeah.
you know, who listen. I'm just happy we're doing a little better than we expected. I'll say that. And I was celebrating the downfall of the Bucks. So
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
good with it.
So,
hey, you one game
what's your?
back.
You think y'all got a chance to win a division?
Hey, anything's possible. I say that right now.
Anything's possible. Okay, that number two. Anything's possible. You
Run
ain't
the
lying
ball.
about that.
That's all I gotta say. Run the ball.
So I guess why I got you here, it's not often we get a Falcons fan on the podcast. Talk to me about the state of things in Atlanta Falcons. And I mean all of it. How do you feel about the about Kyle Pitts in the second year? I know he's doing injuries, but how you feel about him overall? The the Mariota pickup, like how do you feel about all things Falcons right now?
So I'm a season ticket holder as well
So
as
sorry, man.
I'm a season ticket holder as well as the PSL, PSL owner as well of the stadium. So I'm heavily invested in it. As far as Cal Pitts, I felt like rookie season, he definitely lived, probably surpassed expectations. This year, I feel like we definitely didn't give him the ball enough. You know what I mean? And now he's injured, but it's like, I feel like, and I guess it's give and take because while I say we didn't get him the ball enough, we also improved our running game. You know what I mean? So, maybe we have him blocking a little bit more than, he did last year.
Right.
And, this year we got Drake London kind of coming to his own. So he took a little bit of the receiving shine off. And then you got Zacchaeus and all those other guys who are, we got a core of receivers who are kind of over exceeding what they're doing as well. So, it's not as much, we're not as heavily dependent on Kyle Pitts, but I just feel like we're not getting our money's worth on Kyle Pitts, especially in the red zone. It's like, get the ball to Pitts. Sure. Get the ball to Pitts.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, speaking of receivers, Calvin Ridley, when you found out that this man was going to get suspended for a year for betting on the Falcons in a game last year, what was your thoughts about that?
Disappointment. I'll say that because I looked at Calvin Ridley as, okay, we don't have Julio. Okay, cool. We got Ridley. We good. You know what I mean? I looked at it that way. You know what I mean? And I feel like, and it's funny, man. It's selfish, but I have like a collection of all the jerseys that I get every year. And it's like, damn, I looked at my jersey game this year and I was like, man, ain't none of these players on the team no more. You know what I mean? So,
wow.
You invest too much.
I mean? Yeah.
The running backs, you know what I mean? It's like we always get the running back on the end of his career. You know what I mean? It's like, it's horrible, man. I decide, okay, I'm gonna get some of these linebackers. You know what I mean? Now I do have Grady's, So, Grady Jarrett's a jersey. I think he'll, be long term, but it's
Yeah.
like, ah, Deion Jones bust. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jeez.
Deion Jones.
Yeah, man, you bring up an interesting conversation that I was just having earlier today, man. Like, who's the jersey that you get?
Right now, Pitts.
Yeah,
I get Pitts.
I was gonna say Kyle Pitts. Yeah,
and I'll say, Patterson is a good jersey, but I don't think we're gonna have him long term. You know what I mean?
Neither do I.
No.
I believe he's gonna be a journeyman still.
No.
But maybe just for putting it on your wall at some point. He did have his time here, Patterson. I believe, but I really believe in our young running backs, man. I really believe Algiers and Huntley will be, years to come. Those two dudes are studs, running.
How you feel about Desmond Ridder?
The verdict is out on Desmond Ridder. I feel like he was, very serviceable as far as us bringing him in. I just don't know if he's ready. A lot of people are ready to turn the page on Mariota and let's go and try, kick the tires on him.
Yeah.
And I guess he can't do bad, you know what I mean? Mariota's serviceable, you know what I mean? They say Mariota's probably a little more mobile. I thought Ridder was a mobile quarterback, but they say he kind of is, but not so much. So Mariota probably is a lot more mobile than Ridder is. We definitely need the mobility because we had the statue, you know what I'm saying, for many years. So I'm excited to see a quarterback run and get some yards. I'm happy about that part of it. But Mariota is just his accuracy and throwing is
just,
man,
not good.
It's not good.
So, I mean, even in the sense of, you think Desmond Ridder's accuracy could be a little better? Like,
it probably is. I think it ain't gonna take a whole lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I mean, like, and trust me, I'm going through the same thing in Pittsburgh, as you well know.
Yeah.
But it's like at this stage of the game, and I guess y'all are number 2 in the division, so y'all got a little bit more leeway to play with Mariota if you want to. Whereas our season was kind of over early, so it was like I need to do something. But
I trending upward, man.
Yeah, but I say put the young boy in. I mean, if you draft him, put the young boy in. And I get y'all, you didn't draft him first round, but put the young boy in.
Put him in.
Put him in. Put him in. I say put him in.
Put him in. I agree. Put him in, and that's our future anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's gonna be the future. We might as well get him started and get his legs under him and
get him used to running for his life until the offensive line get it together, man.
Yes.
Just go and get him used to it.
Yes, get him into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate decision. But I guess Mariota probably got a nice hefty check. Can't have that on the bench.
I can't imagine it, and I can't imagine they even paid Mariota that much. I mean, he was a backup when he came.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was happy for Mariota too when he got the job and stuff.
Put some life in him, right?
Yeah. But going back a couple years in that draft, man, I thought for sure that y'all was gonna get Justin Fields, and y'all went Kyle Pitts. How'd you feel about that?
In hindsight,
I'm like, yeah. Well, so Pitts is, Fields is actually from about a mile away, high school a mile away from me. So we got 3 high schools that are around us. 3 very good high schools that are putting, a lot of pros in the NFL right now. Evan Ingram, Kenyon Drake, all of those went to my neighborhood high school. And then we got another guy that went to Maryland, Chig. He's a tight end.
Yeah.
So Chig stayed next street over. But I say that to say we're competitive in this area. And Justin, was a quarterback of Harrison High, which is up the street. And I had thoughts like, we really need to do this, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of had to separate myself away from it. I know we weren't riding. I know we had Matt Ryan still with the hefty contract, and I didn't know how long. I didn't really see us really, not signing him like we did. But it was kind of, man, it was like a little bit of, I wanted Fields, but when they got Pitts, I said we'll be all right.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But now, in hindsight, as Fields is really progressing, I'm like, damn it, what do we do? So I'm almost bad as the damn GM in them and their decisions.
Yeah, for sure. Because clearly Justin Fields ain't got no problem running for his life, and it wouldn't have been much different in Atlanta than it is in Chicago. So I
Right.
mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
And that's
it
the
wouldn't have
thing
just
about
been.
Fields. That's the thing about Fields. Fields came into the league as a passer. He was a passer at Ohio State.
Yep.
Yeah, but I didn't
And
believe that.
you didn't believe it?
So he didn't believe it.
I didn't. I didn't. The game is just faster in the NFL.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just faster. I didn't believe. I'll be honest with you. A lot of times when I look at like now, I'll concede that I was wrong about Lamar Jackson, but when I looked at Lamar Jackson, I'm like, man, his decision making ain't as fast as it's going to need to be to come in immediately in the NFL and be a factor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing I looked at with Justin Fields. Like, yeah, I see him. I knew he had some games in college, but it's different. They move them linemen, them big 300, 250-pound linemen. They faster.
They are.
Yeah, it's just different. It's just different. I didn't believe Justin Fields was going to be a passer. At least not immediately. Like maybe he can progress into it, and he still got time to do that. But I didn't believe Justin Fields in that respect. I just knew that wherever he went, much like I had for Lamar Jackson, he was going to be able to run for his life, and he's going to be fast in that aspect.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, because I've had a couple Bear fans correct me about Justin Fields, and all I was trying to say is that they finally catered to the strengths of Justin Fields over the last few weeks. But going back to last year when Nagy was the coach, they was putting him in all kinds of crazy situations where he wasn't going to be able to succeed. Along with the offensive line not being good, and the offensive line still isn't good, but they found a way to make it work. And like you said, Maestro, he can run. He can run, but the dude was throwing the football in college, and I guess to your point, he's gonna have to find a way to make decisions better, make decisions faster, and maybe that'll help him, be that that real dual threat.
So as I was watching, I think maybe it was the Eagles game. I saw where, of course, the praises, they're giving all the praises and stuff, what I'm saying, to the quarterback. And it's like their thing was like, yeah, maybe, who saw this? I'm just laughing at the commentary about it. Like, man, years ago, man, the quarterback, you know what I mean? You had your old guard who your Brady and your Rodgers, and Rodgers a little mobile, but and then your Ryan and all those other guys in the pocket. But they were like, yeah, so maybe all these guys coming out of college being mobile, and maybe we just have to adjust to this. You know what I'm saying? Now it's widely accepted that you got to have a mobile quarterback. You know what I mean? And Lamar, of course, Vic started, but then Lamar actually has really set it off, and now these guys.
Let's not forget RG3 in that short span. RG3 opened that thing up.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. But the mobile quarterback, I mean, it's like now that is a must. Almost.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think Matt Ryan really represents like the death of the statue quarterbacks. Like he really represents that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw that last night.
I can't think of anybody else. I mean, well, Brady.
I mean, Brady's still there, but Brady's Brady, and Brady's Brady. Like
Brady's Brady.
Yeah, I don't think you can put that on Brady, even though he is a statue.
Yeah.
And to Brady's defense, even though I don't like defending him, he's still at 45, a little more mobile than Matt Ryan is today.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Good point.
I can't think of nobody else. I mean.
Yeah. Well, in the times that he's played, he played a few games for the Jets earlier, but Joe Flacco is a guy that does not move well at all in his later years at all.
Yeah.
They're scared to. They were scared to put him in for Zach Wilson last week. Now they got Mike White or
White.
I should call him White Mike at this point. They got him in there, throwing touchdown passes, and now the kid Elijah Moore, he don't want to get traded no more. Like he's happy with what's going on, even though I don't think it's gonna last. I think the Jets, they're just catching some lightning in a bottle where that's concerned.
Right, that's true.
So let's get into this. So Maestro's a Pittsburgh fan, and the Falcons got a matchup with the Steelers Sunday.
That's right.
Look, man, I need you to talk your smack, man. You guys are technically still in the playoff race. Y'all are game back of the division. How you see this thing playing out on Sunday, bro?
See, I studied the Steelers yesterday. I studied them because I really, I wanna. And see, Mike Thomas from Newport News, where I'm from as well. So I secretly root for him a little bit. You know what I mean? But I know y'all are in a tricky year. But like I said, I think y'all are trending upward. So I think we have a problem, especially AFC teams. I don't know what the hell. We beat Cleveland this year, but it's like we have a problem with the AFC teams. I don't know what it is. We don't see them much. It's something, I don't know. Y'all have a tougher style defenses. It's something, but we've had that problem for a long time. So I remember the feeling of going to Pittsburgh a few years ago when we played y'all last, and I went to that game, and I was there. My brother-in-law is a big Pittsburgh fan, so we made a trip. I was like, we're gonna take us a away game and go. We was there, stadium. It's Pittsburgh. I don't know why it was hot as hell out there, and people out there with their towels and shit. I'm like, damn, it was burning up in the middle of this damn stadium, and to get blown out like that, it was even more hot in that seat. So I have that feeling. Although I have fun in Pittsburgh, it's a great town. I'm a little weary about this week. You know what I mean? I can't say I don't have confidence in my team, but the one thing that the Falcons do well is they bounce back. If they have a dumb week, like we just had, it's a dumb winnable game that we could have done.
Yeah.
I think we're coming out with some fire. So we're going probably heavy offense for sure. We're going to impose probably that run, but you guys can stop the run. You know what I mean? You guys can stop the run. So
you can run on the Steelers. You can run on the Steelers.
You can run on the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean the Colts kind of proved that a little bit last night.
But you see who their running back is. I mean,
I was about to say, Jonathan
Taylor
kicked up in the second half. He got 86 total. And I think they got like 130, and out of that 86, it was one big run play that Matt Ryan had, where nobody saw it coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not gonna sit here and like we played the run well. We certainly we're not a top 5 run defense, but I'm confident that we're between that 10 to 12 run defense.
Yeah, so
maybe higher.
If y'all shut down that element of surprise with the run, we ain't throwing.
Yeah.
We ain't got Pitts, and you know what I mean. We're gonna feed London and Zacchaeus and them, and like it's gonna be tough. So it's a tough game.
I mean, y'all incorporate Patterson in the offense a little bit, though.
Yeah, more than a little bit, but again, and I just put my take on it. This is probably the most confident I've been about going in and getting a win as I've been before I realized we were trash, like we were going to be trash this year.
Last week, even more than last week with the Colts.
I remember, if you remember last week, I was saying, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to pick us, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a bad game and where it's the likes of a Jonathan Taylor got off on us. I wasn't 100% confident with that, but for the Falcons, they don't have Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. But we do have some. We have some notable wins. Like, okay, Cleveland, we handled that business. 49ers, we handled that business. You know what I mean? So I think, like I said, it depends on how we show up, what identity we come out there with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
I think
possible.
Mariota is going to have to surprise us with some timely throws, and I don't see him going off and having a breakout throwing game. But I think if he puts us on our heels a little bit, get some RPO going, maybe he can get us on our heels. Maybe he can make some timely throws, and that's where Atlanta would have a chance to win this game.
Yep.
I'm not picking a blowout because our offense is just as bad. But I could definitely see us getting some turnovers. I can see us scoring over 21, and I think 21 is going to be the golden number for us playing teams that aren't like high caliber teams. I think if we score 21, I think we beat them 21-17.
I think if you can get him to throw while he's headed to the ground like he did a few weeks ago. Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna do that no more, man.
Yeah.
I just don't see that.
Yeah, you'll get some turnovers there.
Yeah. I can't see him going that bad with it. But I really see defenses stepping up on both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all got their rookie quarterback. We got Mariota, and I really believe they're gonna exploit. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a lot of linebacker play, a lot of secondary, a lot of things going on with some pressure and stuff on the quarterback. And I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
And it's just gonna be a matter of who throws it up and completes something when it matters. And no shade to Atlanta, but shade at the same time. Pickens is who's not even our best receiver. Probably is better than every receiver on your team right now.
Damn.
Hey, speaking of which, Maestro, they said this last night during the broadcast. And maybe I haven't been following it, but Deontay Johnson, no touchdowns this year.
Deontay Johnson, that's absolutely correct.
Wow.
Wow. And more than that, he just hasn't been good. I mean, he just hasn't been good. He just got a contract this year. $18 million. I get that maybe you could blame some of it on Mitchell Trubisky and the bad quarterback play, but he's still one of the better route runners, and he's definitely the best route runner on our team. So I'd be lying to you if I'm disappointed in Deontay Johnson's season. In some respects, if we're basing it on just play this year, our best receiver has been Freiermuth.
Yeah, I can see that.
At tight end,
Yeah, I can see that.
And if I'm being even more honest, Pickens has been better than Deontay Johnson this year. I don't even think that's a hot take now that I say it out loud. I don't even think that's a hot take.
So here's a question. I'm seeing a lot of heat. There's a guy up the street, big, huge Steelers fan. Of course, Dallas. And I'm saying other people very heavily critical of Tomlin. So I'm trying to see your take on that, on Tomlin, Mike Tomlin this year. What's your thoughts?
Man, I don't see dollars and cents a lot in the social media streets no more. But this is a conversation that he will constantly draw me into. Here's the thing. Dollars and cents always makes poignant. He makes great points. He does. He just does. Look, we have a tendency to losing to teams that are below us in competition. But it's important to note that we haven't had a playoff win in a good long time. These are all the arguments that he brings up when we used to communicate in the social media space. He's right. But I like him, man. It's no other way to slice it. I like Tomlin. He handles the media well, and I get that. And if you want to get down to the shits of it, he's a winning coach.
The record.
He's a winning coach, man. You could say, oh, well, half his career was off a Cowboys team, and yes, you're right. You still got to win the games. You still got to coach the team, and he makes mistakes, and like any other coach, there's nobody, with all the criticism that Dollars and Cents has of Mike Tomlin, in my mind, Mike Tomlin is still a top 5 coach in this league.
Okay.
In my mind.
Yeah. They those who want to see his downfall right now disagree
Yeah.
with you. But
Yeah,
they disagree with you heavily.
it's just no way. It's just
It's
no way to
wild.
slice it.
The,
If he's guilty of anything, in my personal opinion, he hangs on to his assistant staff his assistants for too long. Like, Butler maybe should have been gone a little earlier than he was. Here we are with Matt Canada. He's probably going to play another year. I was reading an article yesterday about how as much as he hasn't been good, more so on the first half of this year with calling plays, that he's probably going to be back another year, and that could be detrimental to Pittsburgh's success because I am so tired of seeing jet sweeps.
Well, there's people who feel like the Steelers hold on to their coaches too long as a whole. So that's
right as a whole. Sure.
Tomlin's been there too long. They saying
racism.
yeah,
nah, I mean, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's like, but yeah, man, I ain't never seen the guy that gets. And look, you're talking to a Ravens fan here.
Well, that's exactly where I was going. Listen, Mr. Ravens fan, you're over here playing moderator guy in the middle here. But I want to know what your thought is on the state of your team currently right now.
I was just talking about it with Maestro before you got on here. This whole thing with Lamar Jackson and what he tweeted out to that fan after the loss.
Yeah.
I was saying that, and me and Maestro kind of agree, it was bad timing. Usually when you do things like this, it opens you up to criticism. Sometimes it's unwarranted criticism, and sometimes it leads to false narratives, right? So my only issue about what he tweeted is that people came to this conclusion that he inserted a gay slur in his tweet when the term "eat a dick" is not a racial slur. It's not a gay slur. Term? It's not a gay slur. It's not. It's just not. If you, we all know what that term means. We all know what it stems from.
They didn't turn that way, did they?
They did. I mean, they did. Look, by definition, it's not a slur. But I mean, he had to, bad timing. Bad timing.
Bad timing. Certainly bad timing. But to dig deeper into the status of the team, and I see a lot of people, particularly the fan base, worried that Lamar is going to walk after this year, and I think people are kind of seeing some, I guess, interpreted writings on the wall because Greg Roman is not doing things to run the offense better. The lack of a star wideout on the team, which we've in our history have never really had unless we got a guy who was a 10-year veteran coming from another team, i.e. Derek Mason. So we've never had that guy. We never really drafted that guy to be a star number one wideout. So you have that.
Well, I think you had, to cut you off, I think you had intentions with Brett Perryman. I think you had intentions with the guy, the recent guy you drafted.
Oh, Bateman? Yeah.
Bateman, yeah.
And it's still out. The jury's still out with Bateman. Sure. And he's hurt.
I think you had intentions. You have intentions on him becoming a number one.
Right. Because when he's out there, he's good. When he's out there, he's good.
And I don't mean Derek Mason number one. I think he had intentions. I mean, even with Marquise Brown. Yeah. I think you had intentions on him being a standout top 10 number one wide receiver. I think you had those intentions.
Yeah, I think his height is what I think kept him from really being that true number one.
I mean, he ain't that much shorter than Antonio Brown.
Okay. Well, I didn't really, and I liked the pick. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I liked when Hollywood came to the team, and I mean, he burnt defenses that first year, but I just didn't see the consistency, the drop passes and and all that stuff. That's why they went out and traded him, because we knew we didn't want to lose him for nothing. So but to kind of get back to Lamar, there seems to be a panic now within the fan base that he's gonna walk after this year, and I'm of the notion that I still have confidence that they're gonna get a deal done. I think he deserves north of what Deshaun Watson got in regards to the guaranteed money that Deshaun Watson got. I think he should get north of that. They just got to figure out terms. They just got to figure it out. They're gonna. Here's one thing that the organization has to understand: price goes up. You know what I'm saying? Salary cap every year, that thing goes up. They're not gonna have a choice. I mean, yeah, they can let him walk, but come on, you want that much smoke from the fan base if you let this guy walk?
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of who would be ready. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people trying to pick him up. But
yeah, I mean, I can see the Jets. I can see the Jets going after
right now. Atlanta would back up $260 million for him right now.
Right
now. Yeah, I can see Detroit doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's teams that are willing.
I can name the Washington Commanders right now. Well, they had the Carson Wentz situation right now. Would be backing the truck up for them. I'm like anybody. I mean, literally anybody right now that don't have a franchise quarterback right now is laying it out. Hell,
laying it out.
If I'm Pittsburgh, hey,
like Birdman over there.
Yeah, right. If I'm Pittsburgh right now, if we could get him, I'd buy Kenny Pickett. Bye.
Hey, Kysii, a question in regard to Deshaun Watson, the contract. You because what the Browns did was setting a precedent. Guaranteeing money, throughout the entire contract. No one's ever got that before. So now, guys that are behind Lamar that, like Burrow, Herbert, Tua, like those guys are going to start to look at that contract and say, hold on, Deshaun Watson, this dude, ain't been playing in 2 years. This dude only got a couple playoff games under his belt. Like, yo, I want guaranteed money. I want a guaranteed contract. Like, you think that was good or bad on the Browns' part? Just from the Browns' perspective, you think that was bad? Yeah.
From the Browns' perspective, I think it's bad. I think it was just like it went way over. You know what I mean? It's like, now where do you go from here? But as a fan perspective, I'm like, go get your money. But now, that's the quarterbacks, you know what I mean, definitely are getting that next level money. Running backs is not to be dime a dozen, you know what I mean, they ain't getting that type of money. But they're the ones that, they ain't as lasting as long, you know what I mean? But at some point, your franchise used to run around, you used to run on your quarterback and your running back, you know what I mean? But now it's kind of, the game's kind of changed a little bit.
More pass happy. Quarterback and receiver now,
Yes.
Receivers are getting $25 million now,
Yes, exactly. And now they're like, we'll get a serviceable running back, you know what I mean? And do what we do. Now there's some teams who can get a serviceable running back and make it work.
Miami.
Yes. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, every team should be able to get a serviceable running back. I mean,
well, when you say serviceable, meaning you don't need a Saquon Barkley, you don't need a Jonathan Taylor, you like
a Derrick Henry. You don't need a Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Huh?
I'm saying you don't need a Derrick Henry.
You don't need a Derrick Henry. I mean, Baltimore is doing it by committee.
Yeah,
Baltimore's doing it by committee.
We're doing
it. But that's most teams in the league, I guess, is my point.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it's a reason. I mean, obviously, it's the way the league is going about how they want scoring and all that to happen.
Yeah.
And but it's also because the mobile quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Lamar Jackson is in the top 10 rushing yards, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he is.
I'm sure Jalen Hurts ain't far behind him, like top 15, top 20 at worst.
And Justin Fields ain't far from him either.
Yeah. He had 178 yards a little while ago in a game. So the stock on a running back does go down. I mean, it's only logical.
Yeah, that's true.
It's only logical.
That's true. Then I mean, you have those other things. You have other teams who kind of go another direction too. If you think about like the Saints, with a Taysom Hill. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
got his a quarterback, but he also is everything else. You know, he's mobile, whatever. They ain't gonna throw no money on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they'll use a
Right.
guy like that. You know what I mean? Somebody that could, you know,
who's just willing, who's just happy to be there.
right.
Just happy
So,
to have a job. And
it's a
Taysom Hill
philosophy
was
of the
okay,
team, I
man.
guess, if you break it down. It's a philosophy of the team and where they decide to put that money at.
Yeah.
Running backs are getting paid. And getting to the Deshaun Watson and where that correlates to the rest of the league. If you're top flight, everything's guaranteed from now on. If you're top flight, there's no way you can negotiate it any different. There's no way you can negotiate it any different. If you want me to do 4 years, over 4 years and up, 4 years and up, everything got to be guaranteed. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's no other way to slice it. Lamar Jackson, and then obviously they want him for 4 years. Obviously they want him for 4 years. That 260, 275, and if I'm his agent, I'm talking about I need 3. I'm talking about baseball contracts at this point. If I'm not then that's all guaranteed.
What kind of contract does Prescott got?
I know he's
it's $40 million a year,
40,
right?
Yeah, I know it's 40 a year.
Yeah,
I know it's 40 a year, and then obviously Mahomes got that baseball contract, so he's doing like, I think if it's not this year, it's next year. He's gonna make $60 million in 1 year.
Right. And then when you look at the most recent contracts, Kyler Murray got a big contract. I think he's around 40 million a year. And then the Russell Wilson contract, which right now is not paying off for the Broncos. If I'm Lamar's agent, I would be pointing at those 2 contracts. Russell Wilson's contract, and I'll be pointing at Deshaun Watson contract and saying, yo, my man deserves all the bread. He deserves all the bread guaranteed.
Was fully guaranteed? Like, he got fully guaranteed?
It wasn't fully guaranteed. I'm just saying to point it out because look at the production that he's been giving them since that contract.
Well, that's not fair though. I mean, obviously you can bring it in as a bargaining chip if you're Lamar Jackson's team, but he definitely got that contract based on what he did in Seattle and not necessarily.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like we all talked that we thought Denver was going to be a good football team.
Yep.
Based on that roster, when you add Russell Wilson, and it just didn't pan out this year for whatever reason. But there's still next year. We know what he's done historically, and what he's done historically deserves that $250 million, even though it's not all guaranteed.
Yeah, right.
I just noticed, man. Might show your shirt here, man. You try to throw some ATL subtle hits with
Hey
some
man,
shit.
your
ATL shirt shit.
Yeah, I had to.
Let me go get my wire shirt. I just got me a new wire sweatshirt that I just got from
If I tell you the truth, why this shirt is on, it's just what I had on today. I'm down in Georgia, kicking it with family. You know what I'm saying? So it just happened to be the shirt I had on. I was like, oh, this works.
Oh, you here now?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Nice.
I ain't gonna front. I thought you planned that though.
No, I didn't. I did not plan it.
I thought you.
I actually was telling my sister I need to change my shirt because this is it's an older shirt. But
Wait a minute, both of y'all got family here then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, both our moms stay in the Atlanta area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and we both got to come down at some point next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hook up at Chief's house again and shit.
And we need to do that again.
The Super Show. Do the Super Show again.
Yes, sir.
Do the Super Show again. I agree 100%.
Yes, sir.
Hey, let's switch to the Hawks, man. I got in, first of all, before we get into the Hawks, the first thing I noticed while I'm in Georgia watching TV for a few hours is, and I won't make this politicky, but the people really want Herschel Walker to win.
Bro.
Every 5 seconds is a Herschel Walker commercial on.
Hey, they going hard. Herschel and Warnock is going hard in the paint on each other.
Jeez Louise.
Bruh, I saw your tweet earlier, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, like, I'm tired of hearing about Herschel Walker living here
Right.
in Baltimore. So I could already imagine down there how much they
insane.
talking about it. It's
we're
crazy.
baffled. We're like, how did this happen? How did they get in the runoff? Stacey Abrams gets blown away by our governor.
Man.
But Herschel Walker and Warnock is in the runoff. Warnock is a Morehouse man, you know what I mean? Alumnus of my school. Very articulate, very smart, but yet you got the dumbest guy running against him. Like, how in the hell is this even possible? How are we here? But the thing is, like people said, it was all about the seat, not who occupied it. He's a pawn right now.
Right.
Yeah.
A dancing monkey in reality.
Right.
Hey, Maestro, before you get into the Hawks, real quickly here, I got Chief Rocka in the Facebook live chat here. So a couple things. He said, F the Steelers, F the Falcons. and he said, while you in town, holla at him.
All right.
So
I can't promise you that, Chief, but I'm going to try. I am going to try. I am going to try. Yeah, man. So the Hawks, man. It was on my mind because obviously I'm down here. And I got an opportunity to watch, believe this or not, Trey, I got an opportunity to watch some NBA during the NFL season.
Oh,
and
okay. All right.
Now, I will say this: they look like they was giving the Sixers the business for a minute, but then when Embiid woke up, we kind of, But I guess at the end of the day, they played them tight all throughout the game. But you can tell the difference once Embiid woke up. Talk to me about the Hawks, their season so far, how things is going with I always want to mess his name up, Deontay Murray. And I think I still mess his name up, but it's cool. The state of the Hawks right now.
So I'm in their fan groups and stuff. We're heavy on them, you know what I mean? And a lot of the guys are calling for Nate's head, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, man, Nate ain't that great of a coach, Like really? The newness wore off on him.
Really?
Yeah, they're really going hard on Nate. They're like, yeah, his coaching decisions are
man, they gotta stop.
Kind of crazy. The substitutions, just the some of the lineups and things that he put together at certain times. Yeah, they're going hard on.
They
Nate,
said that about the previous coach.
They said it about the previous coach as well. Now they coming after Nate now. They just like with the talent and the level that we got. Now I say. The Hawks, you know what I'm saying? We definitely got a formidable team. We beat the Bucks twice this year, right?
Yep. I saw that. Yep.
And that's impressive. But then, I turn around and watch Celtics and they were lights out on us. It's like nothing we could have did to keep up with them. But they shoot threes like no other. You know what I mean? While you mentioned the Celtics, I won't make it last, but they're the best team in the league record-wise right now. And I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celtics putting together something nice out there, you know what I mean? But I think, the Sixers are beatable, from us. We could do it, you know what I mean? But it's like, that's Embiid, you know what I mean? It's like you got to slow him down, you know what I mean? And I don't, inside, Collins and Capella. They ain't gonna be able to handle that, you know what I mean? That big body right there. So it would be like we would have to outpace them, you know what I mean? And if y'all on all cylinders, Philly's shooting on all cylinders, doing what they do, it's like we would have to outshoot them. Now we got rid of Herter when I saw him come back with Sacramento.
Yeah.
That boy playing in Sacramento right now.
Yes, you know what I mean? It's like I sit here thinking about it. I'm like, but it's to me, I feel like that's just an Atlanta thing. I feel like we have a guy and he's okay. We get rid of him, and then he become a star somewhere else. And I guess everybody feels like that, but but it seems like it happens to us all the damn time.
Yeah, the Sacramento, surprisingly, man, they number 7 in the West right now. They doing some good stuff over there, man.
They said that anytime Kevin Durant make time on his podcast to shout out Kevin Herter, that boy balling.
Yeah,
that boy balling. But I seen that clip. And I was like, well, let me go see what Kevin Herter's doing. And that boy balling.
Yeah, but I like Hunter too, man. Hunter's game, you know what I mean? Out of UVA. He finally is coming into his own, you know what I mean? He was playing way under potential for his first couple of years. I believe now he's really stepped up. So like I said, we're grinding it out right now. You know what I mean? But I really think we're gonna come into our own. I like the way the team has looked this year than in the past. You know what I mean? I'm glad we still got Collins. I felt like Collins is a valuable piece to play with.
He was on a trade block a few times. Yeah.
Yes, a few times. You know what I mean? I think I like Capella, but I think he's expendable to me.
Okay.
He's good, blocks and stuff like that, but we could get somebody else, you know what I mean, that may have a better offensive game, you know what I mean, plus bringing the defense at the same time.
Yeah.
So that piece is expendable. And I'm trying to think about, we lost a couple key bench guys, but for the most part,
Gallinari went to Boston, and then he tore his ACL, I think, so he's out for the year.
Yep. But I mean,
let me ask you about John Collins. Because you happy with him. Now, I was just having this conversation last night, and my stepfather is not particularly high on John Collins. Says the guy doesn't create his own shot. He's good for He's good for some jumpers.
That's true.
Some defense, but all in all, he feel like that money wasn't worth his position in the wing. Like maybe he's underachieving at the 3. And he's at the 3, correct?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, no, he's a 4.
4, okay.
4, yeah. But
okay, well that changes the argument then. I'm glad you.
That changes the argument. Yeah, Hunter's a 3.
Yeah, he's overachieving at a 4.
Yeah, I mean, but that was the argument. Like in the group of guys who, the fans, they were really trying to see what we can get for Collins. You know what I mean? But it was never nothing that was out there that was worth it. But now they're okay with him. But you know what I mean? It's funny when you go in these fan groups, man. You get all the crazy opinions about everything, man.
So. I don't know. Yeah, I'm about to say, and interested in say that because when I look at the way he plays, I thought he was a 3. Like straight up, I thought he was a 3. And more than that, how many 4s? I guess Anthony Davis. How many 4s are really creating their own shot?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm about to bring that to it. I thought he was talking to. When he was saying that, I'm like, well, yeah, a 3 should be able to create their own shot, but a 4.
He's a 4. Yep.
Not so much. Yeah, not so much. Not so much. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I bring that to his attention before I leave.
And then we still have that hanging over our head, the whole Trae Young. Damn, what's Dallas guy? I can't think his name.
Well, Luka.
Not going with Luka and going with Trae. You still got that stuff still hanging over our head, like the possibilities.
I think both guys went to their respective teams.
Right.
Luka's good for Dallas. Trae Young is good for Atlanta. I think he fits the culture. It's all good. I think Luka fits the culture. I mean, it's kind of like Mark Cuban likes those Euro, the Nowitzkis, and now with Luka, he kind of likes that. That fits Dallas. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trae Young fits Atlanta. You know what I mean? So y'all shouldn't have that over your head.
But it sounds like you're talking about more of a cultural fit. I could see Luka Doncic is a better basketball player than Trae Young.
Agree.
That's not,
Agree.
That's not. That's not like nothing crazy to say.
Agree.
And I think Luka Doncic in the Eastern Conference as opposed to the Western Conference, I think he would fare better, especially with his style of play where he kind of just want to do his own thing.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? I think that fares better in Atlanta than it does in Dallas. Again, I agree that both parties won. Nobody lost per se. But I could see somebody saying, man, we should have got Luka over Trae Young. Yeah. I can see that.
Granted, y'all was in the conference finals just a couple seasons ago.
That's true.
That's true too.
And I still have nightmares of that series against my Knicks, man. Julius Randle became an all-star, and all of a sudden the Hawks just exposed him, man.
But I do say in rebuttal to that, I think Luka has a better chance going up against that defense than Trae Young does.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Where you got the Hawks finishing at, man? When it's all said and done, where you got them finishing at in the East?
I think we're gonna be somewhere in the middle, somewhere.
Like 5?
5, 6, somewhere in there.
Like 5?
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah, 5, 6. But I'm trying to look up my guy's name. Damn, what's our he was first round with Trey, and then we traded him over to the Knicks.
Oh, Cam Reddish.
Reddish. So that's why we thought we won.
Yeah.
Because we had Trey and we had Cam, but then it's like
I like Cam Reddish. I just hate that Thibodeau's not using him properly. Yeah. And he sat out the other night. I don't know what that was about, but I don't
like get
Cam
to catch
Reddish.
Knicks games as much, so I don't know how Cam has been doing out there for you guys. But I kind of liked him. But
when he got traded last season, he got no burn, and so Knicks fans was like, "Yo, what you trade for the nigga for?" And then this season, Thibodeau wised up. He benched Fournier because Fournier gets no burn anymore, which fans was calling for forever. And Cam,
I told you that nigga was gonna be trash, son.
Well, I thought the dude was gonna be just stand in the corner, shoot your threes, but the dude, when you talking about guarding somebody, man, that man's a turnstile, man. I could cross over Evan Fournier. Like that's how bad he is on defense. But yeah, man, you was right, man. It's a bad signing. Turned out to be a bad signing. I mean, next to the Kemba Walker come home signing, that was one of the bad ones. That was definitely one of the bad ones.
And then we end up with Kevin Knox. It's like, it's like, man. I don't know what we got out of that.
Yeah.
Let everybody know what you got going on with the X Squad Network and X Squad Radio and all that, man.
Okay, most definitely. So we're still running X Squad Radio Network. You can get it at xsquadradio.com. We also have now a 24/7 radio station that we run. So every day, all day, you get some kind of programming. I started with Free Your Soul Radio in the morning. Then we got, D Greatest show comes on, then followed by my show, followed by, some of today's hits. You know what I'm saying? So we got a different vibe going through the week, as well as, the different podcasters who may, pop in and do their shows. But you can catch us at the X Squad Radio mobile app. So download it on all platforms or xsquadradio.com. Now, as far as myself, I used to come on every Thursday, but now I'm kind of being more strategic with my content. It's like, if I have a certain person, I might come on every other Thursday. Maybe one Thursday a month, you know what I mean? It's like I'm not burning my Thursdays, just talking. You know what I mean? So I make sure my show is worthwhile on a Thursday. And I'm kind of more pushing myself almost on-demand content. So I'm doing a lot of YouTubing and stuff now, building my YouTube content. Finally jumped into the monetization of YouTube, but I'm still trying to catch the great divide of, I got 2 YouTube channels. I got one where I'm cooking, and I got one where I'm on my podcast. My cooking is distancing my actual show itself. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to catch the in between. Maybe I need to podcast and cook at the same time or whatever. So I don't know.
Okay.
You always trying to find that way. I gotta give you credit for as long as I know you. Always like, what's the next move? How do we make this thing work? So that's what's up. That's what's up,
man. Yeah, the YouTube thing is the way to go too, man. The YouTube thing is really, me and Maestro, we started it about a little over a year ago, and it's worked out for us really well. So
and the good thing is, like you said, you guys keep fresh content going every week. You know what I mean? So that's definitely great for bringing in people who used to seeing you guys with the great content that builds your subscribership up and everything. My son is he's a young man, 21, and he's around like 4 or 5 different content guys. It's like these dudes is making lifestyles on YouTube right now. They don't do nothing but freaking YouTube videos. That's their life. And I'm like, bruh, I mean, they're out here with, millions of subscribers. They might put a video up tonight, and next thing I know, it's like 200,000 within an hour or something. Like, what the hell is you guys doing? You know what I mean? So it's like I'm learning from them, but it's a young man's game. We old guys trying to fit in and like, okay.
You know what? I be telling people, we the problem with us old people, we don't want to play young people games because we too sophisticated and dignified. We need to start learning and really taking serious what they doing and going as hard as they're going with it. But we owe wife, kids, all these things.
Yeah.
And we like
health, our health.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's just they selling out, man. That's how young people are kicking our ass. They selling out. They ain't got nothing better to do.
They out there doing pranks. They out there interviewing people, like all kind of just whatever you can get on the damn content. They're doing it.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
What's up. On the interstate. You know what I mean? It's like everything is content for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. If I had the idea that my son could just play with toys on YouTube and make millions of dollars, man, I would have been buying up the whole Toys R Us, bro.
There you go.
If I known I was gonna make that much money, right?
They're killing it.
Killing it.
People watch somebody play the video game. You know what I mean? Just do a screen share, whatever.
Man, I caught myself doing that. About a month ago, watching somebody play a video game. I said, man, this is crazy.
Hey, you're a producer, shit. I'm seeing people making beats on YouTube. So hey, man, you might need something like in the lab with Maestro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, reinvention out here.
That's a good idea though, Maestro. I mean, what you doing there?
I just gotta buckle down. Just gotta buckle down.
Well, Kysii, man. If I never told you this, man, I just want to say that we appreciate you because you were one of the ones that embraced us when me and Maestro first started this thing, and when Doug put us on, and we kind of gravitated to this fan base down south. You were one of the ones that fully embraced us, and I remember that day when we was over Chief's house. And you kind of had the whole, what's the movie Maestro State Property, where he was like, yo, either you're gonna get down or lay down. We kind of felt like you when you was trying to get us to join X Squad, it's like, yo, hey, this is it. Either you down or you out. So
listen. It is never that serious, man.
Yeah.
You guys see,
we just joking around with that.
you guys, like I said, even though like y'all like quote unquote like an X Squad radio network, I always still, which like y'all are cousins. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel the same way.
Like you. That's why I keep a X Squad group. I like y'all stay in that because I feel like y'all still family. Y'all just
we like. We like Woo affiliates.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It's great. Woo affiliates. So it's like I always keep y'all, around, like promote whatever y'all got, whatever. Let's go support you, whatever. And I always, you got other guys who go start something else differently, and then like, we're gonna do this, and next thing I know, we got podcast beef wars between us. Different cliques and shit. Y'all never been in no cliques and shit. Y'all never said we signed with these dudes. So man, F y'all. So we actually have where people got to choose their colors in the podcast lane. And I was never one that started it, but some reason I get put into it. Like I did it. Like I'm the Suge Knight of podcast.
Yeah, you have definitely been put in some beefs. You have definitely been.
I didn't do that. You know what I mean? I want everybody to win. So yeah, man, that's some funny stuff, man. But yeah,
man, we appreciate you, man, because you like you said. And I echo the same thing. You've always been supportive of what we do, and sincerely, man, we appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you because you ain't got to, flat out. You ain't got to.
Hey, that's who I am, man. You call me, say, how do I do this or whatever? Can you check this out? Can you check whatever? And I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? That's just what I do. I want to help everybody.
Yeah. You and I, we've texted a couple times about equipment and things like that and software, and so. I'll always appreciate that, and if I do need something or you need something, you know the number, man.
Yes, sir.
Most definitely. Y'all get a Rodecaster Pro yet?
Nah, I've been thinking about it, but the whole Zoom thing, I want the gear because I want the gear, but it's not matching what I'm doing. What our setup is because we don't link up together anymore. So. That's the only reason we haven't really looked into it. But we talked about it a while ago. But before that, it was like before the pandemic hit. We was talking about we was really on that Rodecaster Pro. But when the pandemic hit, it's like, man, you ain't coming over here. I ain't going down there.
Yeah, and even when things are, you know, somewhat a little bit normal, bruh, I bought a house during the pandemic, and I live further away from him than I did before. So
Gotcha.
I am not making that trek, bruh. And plus, I got additional responsibilities. You know, kids is, you know, grown. They in, you know, first and second grade. So
both y'all in the DMV, but somebody like much further. Somebody
No,
in
like where Trey lives is not even considered DMV.
Yeah, it's not DMV. It's Baltimore.
Yeah.
It's Baltimore.
It's Maryland, but it ain't DMV.
It's Baltimore. When you talk to people from Baltimore, they don't claim the DMV. They don't claim the area to be that. DMV is what it is. It's DC.
Yeah, I'm in the heart of it.
It's PG County. It's a little bit of Northern Virginia, and it's Montgomery County.
Where's Ellicott City? That's where my boy moved to.
That's way
outside of the DMV.
Yeah, that's
outside of DMV. But it's not far from me. I'm about 20 minutes from there.
Right. Yeah.
I'm about 20 minutes from there. Hey, Kysii, one last time, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at on social media.
Kysii.com is the website for all destinations. You can find me. Kysii, Kysii. Y'all can follow it in the links and things. On YouTube, it's Kysii Show. Be sure to tag me on this video too, y'all. At Kysii Show. That's my YouTube. Kysii Cooks is the YouTube cooking channel. And on Instagram, it's Kicking It with Kysii. Twitter is Kicking It with Kysii.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Hey, man. All love, man. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Y'all, listen, y'all been in the long journey like me. I don't know, we're 6-7 years, however many years we've been doing this thing. You know what I mean? It's longevity, it's dedication, it's just basically, you know what I'm saying, staying persistent. You know what I mean?
Yes,
we'll crack it open at some point.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. All right, boy, love.
Hey, man. I'll talk to y'all later.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Later. Peace.
Yep. That's the homie Kysii Ingram, Kicking It with Kysii Show, X Squad affiliates, xsquadradio.com, Kysii.com, the whole bit. That was good, man. That was great having him on here, man.
That's my guy.
No doubt.
That's my guy.
I don't know about you, but I ain't got nothing else. I think we kind of
my leg is asleep.
Oh yeah, you in a different setup, so
I'm definitely not used to this. Yes, I think we good, player.
Yeah. I'm good on this end, man. And thanks to Kysii for hopping on. Thanks to Chief Rocker for jumping in the Facebook live chat, and thanks to everyone out there that's watching us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You want to catch this episode on demand, whether it be Apple, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Drop a review. Let us know what you think. And then also our social media platforms. Follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Also on the gram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the like button on the Facebook page. And if you got questions or you want to be on the show or other comments, we got email. You can hit us up there at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So I guess all I got to say is, bruh, enjoy the rest of your time in the A, man.
Yeah, man.
I wish I was still on a vacation just like you, man. You deserve the time off. I know you and I, we be talking about, you know, work and stuff sometimes, but you definitely deserve this time off with, you know, your family and all that. So,
man, and low key, man, I'm even getting a break from music, and I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it's definitely happening, right? Whether I like it or not, until I get home Friday. So,
right. Well, in retrospect, I guess you could think about, you know, your time away from music and whether you want to do that again or not.
Nah, I definitely don't. I didn't leave my charger on purpose.
Yeah, that was
God's plan. That was God's plan.
Yeah,
that was definitely God's plan. It was not mine.
Right. I guess. Well, folks, y'all enjoy the rest of the week. We'll be back next Tuesday with another episode. Peace, one love, and y'all be safe in them streets.
Drink some water.
Recording stopped.